You ever notice how the instructions for fixing, say, your lawnmower feel totally different from an article explaining a new scientific discovery? Well, believe it or not, it wasn't always that way. Today, we're going to take a journey, a 150-year journey to see how the very idea of practical information has been completely transformed. So how did we go from this big public spectacle of wonder to a quiet manual in a garage? Let's dive in.
Okay, so let's start right here. In 1867, this quote comes from our first source, a weekly journal. And what's so wild about this is how perfectly it captures that time. I mean, this explanation for why people get sick in the fall, this theory about weird emanations coming from decaying plants, was printed right next to articles about the newest, most cutting-edge machines. It was a world where public health advice and engineering marvels were all part of the exact same conversation.
So this publication was called A Weekly Journal of Practical Information, and it was exactly that, a journal of everything. This wasn't written for specialists or engineers. Nope, this was for the curious public, a kind of wide-angle lens on a world that was just absolutely buzzing with new inventions and discoveries. And just look at the sheer variety in one single issue. On one page, you've got an explanation of a new sewing machine, and on the very next, the latest calculations for the sun's distance. You could learn how to build a good cement walkway, read about new fossil discoveries, and then marvel at a crazy experiment to make sound visible using a gas jet. You see, science, industry, home life, they weren't in separate boxes. It was all part of one big, grand public story about progress.
And the language they used, it was designed to create a sense of awe. I mean, listen to how they describe this experimental pneumatic railroad. It's not just a list of specs, right? It's an invitation to picture this incredible 6-foot tube and a car that just whisks 12 people along. The whole point wasn't just to inform you, it was to inspire wonder.
Okay, now let's hit the fast-forward button. We're jumping ahead 150 years. The whole spirit of practical information is definitely still alive, but it lives in a very, very different kind of home, the modern repair manual. And this is where we see the big shift from public wonder to private, practical action. And wow, this slide just says it all, doesn't it? On the left, you've got the 1867 journal describing a sewing machine with this kind of beautiful mechanical poetry. It's explaining how the thing works. But on the right, our modern Haynes manual is just giving direct commands. It's not explaining the theory of air filtration. It's just telling you exactly what to do. The focus is completely flipped from understanding the what to just executing the how.
And that's the crucial point, right? The audience has totally changed. This isn't for the curious public anymore. It's for an individual person with a very specific problem to solve. The goal here is just efficiency and getting the repair done, not broad scientific literacy or a sense of collective excitement about technology.
But hold on, the journey isn't over. We've got to zoom in one last time, to the most specialized level of all, where the purpose of the information changes again, this time from instruction to protection. So this is a patent description from that same 1867 journal. And look, even though it's technically a legal document, it's actually written to be understood. It explains the core idea in plain language. You fill some chambers with water and use gravity as an assistant motor. You can actually get what they're talking about. It's still trying to communicate an idea to a general reader. Now get ready for a little whiplash. This is a patent claim from the exact same year, and boom, suddenly the language just snaps into this super rigid legalistic format. It's not explaining an idea anymore, it's legally defining a very precise combination of parts. The cam, D, the key, I. This is the beginning of a language that's not meant to explain, but to define and defend. And today, that language has pretty much become its own beast. A modern patent claim is a dense legal code. Its audience isn't the public. It's not even the user. Its audience is the legal system, other engineers, lawyers, and patent examiners. And that completes the journey from public knowledge to protected intellectual property.
So we've gone from a public journal to a private manual to a legal claim. What does this whole evolution really tell us about our relationship with technology? Let's break it down.
This table really sums it all up, you know? Back in 1867, the audience was the curious public, and the whole purpose was to inform and inspire them with broad, descriptive language. Fast forward to today, a repair manual is targeting the practical user, and its job is to instruct them with specific, direct language. And finally, the modern patent, well, that's for the legal system. Its purpose is to define and protect using super precise legalistic language. We've literally gone from, isn't this amazing, to do this, then do this, all the way to we hereby claim.
So let me ask you this. Think about the last time you had to fix something. Maybe you watched the YouTube video or read a guide. What was that feeling like?
Was it a sense of wonder at how clever the machine was? Or was it just, relief that you finally found the right screw to turn? We've gained an incredible amount of efficiency, but maybe, just maybe, we've lost some of that shared public excitement along the way.
And that really brings us to the future, doesn't it? In a world where an AI can just generate a custom repair manual for you in seconds or walk you through a process with augmented reality, what does practical information even become? Will we swing back toward wonder and understanding, or will it become even more specialized until it's just a conversation between you and the machine? That's really something to think about.